Hey. Hey, everybody. Lights go down. The orchestra tunes up. The Muppets get ready. Hey, Thunderstorm. Hey, Pippy Pop and Edie. Hey, Mark. Hello, Tugboat. Hello, Keith. Wow, you guys have been here chatting for a little while. Everyone can hear me okay? I had to do like a bunch of redoing my OBS from computer stuff. And I didn't have a chance to test it before we went going. Nice. Sounds good. It all looks good. I don't have my speed lines on my face, but we're just gonna have to deal with Slow Tyler today. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Eric. So this week, I got a couple books that were fun. This thing, I'm very excited about. There's not a lot I can even show of this book because, like, it's just like boobs and wieners on every single page. But dang, it's beautiful. I love Richard Corbin, and this book, like, came out and, like, sold out in, like, the same week. So I'm really excited that I finally got a copy. And it's beautiful. I wish somebody would do, like, I've watched a couple things where people did deep dives on how Corbin worked, especially with his earlier stuff, and it's buck wild because it's like he did a lot of stuff that's like this painted in black and white, and then he would do color separations for it, but he did it like man, it would take me so long to even try to explain it. He did it, but it did it manually with a photostat camera, and he had these overlays of different percentages of colors, and he would basically do a little miracle with color in these books, very analog. So I wish there was more info on that. I'm hoping with like future volumes they can dig into that a little bit because it's very very fascinating stuff. And he was an incredible talent. Gone too soon. The other thing I got, and this is for a project I can't really talk about yet. Let me check the chat real quick here. Reign of Doom has a new art book, and I can't wait to pick it up. Gotta wait for SDCC to pick it up. Oh, nice. Yeah, so this, so I'm working on a project while we wait for the next Lonesome Hunters to get going. I'm working on another project that I can't really talk about yet, but I guess I could say that it's a period piece set in the 60s. And I wanted better reference for like hairstyles and clothing and stuff. And it occurred to me, like I actually was inspired by my mom, or more instructed by my mom. I was asking her questions about how women did their hair in the 60s. And she pulled out her college yearbook. And I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what I need. So I ordered one from the year I needed it. And it's amazing. There's so much stuff in here that I cannot like one weird little thing about trying to get the fashion right that I would have not thought about is really like, how can I do this? How like often you can see dudes like their socks all the way out. Like you get that little flash of ankle right above the sock. And that's something I have noticed in so many of these pictures that I would not have like ever done. Like these guys. It's like just I think I would have drawn their pants a little longer. Yeah, hot ankle action. I don't know if colleges still do yearbooks. I kind of would assume, but I don't know. So, but the main thing is just like all this hair. This stuff is just extraordinary. Like, I was talking to my mom more about like how much work it took to do your hair back in the 60s. And oh my god, it sounded like a nightmare. But the amount of like just creativity on the with women's hair. Men's hair is basically exactly the same as it's always been. But yeah, there's the amount of creativity, and but all based around a similar, theme. Really extraordinary stuff. So that's this. I got this off eBay. I think with shipping it was like $35 or something. Totally worth it. Every single one of them gets Best Hair Award. So tonight's deal is this. Last week, was it last week or the week before? I can't even remember anymore. I did the test of the cold press paper, and I finally got a pad of hot press to try out. And it is gorgeous paper. Oh my god. Like people, like whenever I have brought up this Fabriano paper to watercolor artists, like everybody is like, that shit's the bomb. But I still don't know if it's quite right. I actually did a quickie test last night, and there's a little bit of a texture on this that I don't know if I can live with. Like, it's tricky. Everything's tricky. I'm so sorry, Keith. I just couldn't help myself. But today I figured I'd do a little bit more strenuous of a test. Like, I didn't do any taping or anything, which has been like a big kind of a problem for some of this paper that I've been trying lately. I'm just going to cut it in half real quick. I also finally got my 2023 COVID vaccine. That's very exciting. I'm looking forward to just staying in bed tomorrow. Yeah, no, it was so hard to have this paper sitting on my desk for a couple days and not touch it. Yeah, Thunderstorm, get on it. I was putting off mine too. I actually had it scheduled for like a month ago, but then I got sick with shingles and couldn't be vaccinated. Well, I don't know. Maybe I could have, but I didn't want to. I was sick enough as it is. You got yours with the flu shot and it whooped you. Yeah, Jackson, that's kind of what I'm expecting. I got my flu shot too tonight. So today has been like a day of like trying really hard to finish some stuff so I could turn it in, and then drive into town and get my flu shot, and then do this, and then I'm like done. I'm done until after Christmas. $126. What are you talking about, Edie? Oh, this pad was $50. I'm sure there's like more expensive stuff. I ordered this from Dick Blick, and it was like, I think it was like 50, maybe $52 or whatever. And yeah, and it's the 12 by 18, 20 sheets. So it's like still expensive. It's like $250 a sheet. Analog Clip. It is exactly like Analog Clip Studio Pro. I hadn't thought much about what I was going to draw on this. Oh, but I am going to do a vertical. We'll go diagonal with it. That'll be stupid. Scott Pilgrim to match my shirt. I have to look up what Scott Pilgrim looks like. My first book from Oni Press, Petrograd, came out when Scott Pilgrim came out, like that same year. Or it might have been the year after. I don't know. But I remember like it was very exciting to be like, have my first publisher, and like the publishers or the parties at San Diego Comic-Con that year were like incredible. It was very, very exciting. It's cooled down. It's cooled down a lot since then. Didn't like the new Netflix show. Turn it off after the first episode. Watch the movie instead. I haven't tried. I don't have Netflix right now, so I have not seen it. I heard that it's a lot different than the comic, which is probably good. It's interesting with the new cartoon coming out. I've seen some women comic book creators talking about their experience when Scott Pilgrim came out, and it was very interesting. Oh, you got an intriguing comics industry question, Keith. Oh wow, that was a while ago, Tugboat. Do you think that the comics industry in trouble, personal philosophy wise? What do you mean by that? Like, the comics industry is sort of like it's kind of always in a little bit of trouble. Enough so that it's like not worth worrying about. I think like there's a lot of that talk about like oh, the hubbub with Gail Simone, Mark Waid, and Mark Millar. Yeah, I think that I I think the stuff that's going down with those guys is a whole lot of like the industry is just evolving and adapting to the realities of 2023, and there's a lot of almost exclusively guys who are like scared to death about it and make a big fuss about it. The stuff specifically between Gail Simone and Mark Millar, I think, from what I understand, was a little bit overblown, but at least according to Gail Simone. But yeah, I mean, the big thing that's going on in the industry is like that floppy sales are. I don't. It's hard to like really like explain what's going on because I don't know if I even really know. But my understanding from what I can see, it looks like the attrition rate on floppies is so bad right now that it's making it really hard to keep a series going. Like, and attrition rate is just the issue 1 comes out and sells 25,000 copies. Issue 2 comes out and will sell 12,000 copies, and issue 3 comes out and sells 3,000 copies, and it's just like it goes down and down and down and down and down. And for the last couple decades, the model has been that you start like you doing the floppies pays for the artist and the writer to make the book, and then you come out with a trade, and the trade should make actual money. And the floppies just are doing so poorly nowadays that it's harder to get to a trade. So I don't know, they're just changing, and it's just like hard to know where it's going to land, and it freaks people out. And so, there's a type of dude that when they get freaked out, they really like to blame women and the woke mind virus. But like I said, I just got my COVID shot, so I got so much 5Gs running through my veins that like I'm like full-time cancel pig right now, and I'm loving it. Yeah, the $5 floppy is rough. I think like I really wish that like I don't know. Like I feel like every week on here I talk about how much I would love to do a black and white book, but I would love to do like a black and white book on newsprint, and I would just love it if that was any cheaper. But I don't actually know if that would be cheaper. Like it would be cheaper if you didn't have to hire a colorist. So this is one thing about this paper I still already like am nervous about, as it's like it's very smooth, but it's got like this texture to it that is like a very tight sort of grid pattern, and you can hear like it sounds like it. I don't know. Like I don't like I like random patterns, but I don't care for like grid patterns and stuff like that. This paper erases really, really nice though. So many beautiful stories killed because some guys can't handle stories that didn't immediately involve them. Yeah, exactly. And like the big um, roadblock has been like guys in charge who can't see, like, just can't understand a story and won't pay someone to make a story that they don't understand. Like a really good example is the Ghostbusters movie with the female cast when they redid that recently. Well, recently, I guess that was like 7 or 8 years ago now. But like, I went and watched that and thought it was like not especially good. But I can tell you that like the tween girls that were up at the front were losing their goddamn minds for that shit. Like they were just like so hyped for that movie, like all the way through. It was rad for them, not for me. What else should I get? I got like this little demon guy. I'll do one more because I'm never going to finish this tonight if I do try to do a whole 6 panels. Yeah, the women who did that Ghostbusters got so much bullshit for that, and it's just like, it's like it was fine. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know if I want to do an evil fairy, but maybe like it wasn't any worse or better than the previous movie. Yeah, that's probably true. But I was like 9 when I saw it, so I loved it. I'm gonna do like do a tree. All right, that's great. getting my Burnt Umber FW ink. Yeah, you can't beat a breakdancing toaster. Like, that's art. I should say while I'm remembering, I'm probably not going to do a live stream next week because the electrician is coming tomorrow to like wire it up so we can charge our new car, and then also with Christmas and New Year's and everything. I'm just going to take it off. Good call, ED. Oh my gosh, start a rewatch. I don't know if I could even do that. What size brush do you use for your line work? This is a 0. This is a Rosemary and Company uh, red sable says 0. I used to be like one of those dudes who thought you should use a giant brush and just maintain the tip so you could draw tiny lines and super thick lines, but I'm here to tell you that's too much work. I just, I keep a little brush and then I keep some big brushes. That's it. That's right, Ma. Shut her down. We got to the root of it. We're all comic book red pilled. We're all comic book big brush pilled. Four brushes. That's insanity. Like I actually just use 2 brushes for inking. But I have been getting my watercolor brush selection down where I basically use like these 3. You know what? And then I also use this guy quite a bit still. Having too many brushes though is like a total problem. At least for me. Like if I have to think too hard about what brush I'm going to use, like it slows me down way too much. My splatter brush is usually this guy. And then in combination, where's my guy? Oh, in combination with this guy. Form practice decided away through years of purchase brushes you'll never use again. Oh my god. Dude, you can't see it from the camera, but I have like, there's easily like 75 brushes within like arm's reach of where I'm sitting right now. And I use, 6 of them. I had to draw with a 0.8 the other day because my 0.5, 0.3 all got missing. I felt very heavy handed. Man, you talking about a micron, Mark? Or something similar to a micron? I love me a 0.8. That's like my favorite size for hand lettering. Oh yeah, 0.8 for panel borders is like primo. Man, Keith, rapidographs are like, I don't even know what they're like. Purebred dogs. You just look at them cross-eyed and they'll break on you. They have health problems. I think I only have 2 sets of rapidograph, and they're all like permanently frozen, but I've been carrying them around with me for 20 years and will never get rid of them. Because I feel like maybe one day I'll need them and I'll be able to clean them out. Actually, I should give it a shot. Like I have an ultrasonic cleaner and everything for my airbrush. And that would probably do great for rapidographs. The Copic multiliners are pretty nice. Back in school 20 years ago that I used, something changed about them. They don't seem to last as long. Yeah, man, everything, every art supply is like bound to get slightly tweaked and then never work again. It's very frustrating. All right. That should give us something to paint on. Man, I cannot believe like how good this paper erases. And the ink dries on it really quick too, which is very nice. Oh, thanks, Kelly. Yeah, everybody hit that like button. Goose the algorithm. Thanks, Edie. I do like drawing skulls. I don't know if I've ever watched a Zack Snyder film in real life, actually. Oh wow, were you using the network, hacking into the Matrix? I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had to go. I had to go unplug our car because I'm charging it on the same circuit as this wall that I'm on, and if I run the hairdryer, I will probably throw a breaker. So I love it when I look up at the chat and I'm like, I don't know what any of these guys are talking about. Hey, I am unmuted. Aren't I? Thanks, Pippi. So I'm having mixed feelings about this paper. Like, I thought I was gonna really love it, but I'm kind of not. Like, it seems like very tough paper. Like, it should do a little thing here. Like, I'm gonna do this little blob and let it dry and see how well I can scrub it up afterwards. The smoothness of the paper is nice. Like, inking on it was pretty nice. Drawing on with a pencil was not as nice because of that slight grid-like texture that it has. Yeah, I don't know. It buckles a lot more than my than the mixed media paper I usually use. But then when it dries out flat again. So I don't know. It's a trip. And one of the things about like real watercolor paper is that lots of times the color saturation is better. Like, it manages to hold the pigments like on top of the paper better, but I don't know. It doesn't seem to be especially bright to me. It's really funny. Like, well, I don't know if it's funny, but I've spent so much money on paper, like in the last couple months, feeling like there's got to be something better out there. And I really feel like I'm probably just going to stick with my Strathmore mixed media paper that has, you know, been a steadfast pal all these years. Oh, thanks, Pippi. I just really enjoy drawing um, trees and foliage. I wish, I always wish that I had more time to do it, actually. Like, lots of times if I have a scene that takes place in the forest, I'll sort of, because of my deadlines, I gotta hurry up through it. And I always wish I could spend more time just working out, like, each tree and each bush's pose and like making sure the leaves are right and all that stuff. But it's like anything, if you want to draw a thing really well, you have to like learn to be very fascinated by the thing. They're like just such a fun like combination of figurative and abstract. Yeah, get outside and draw some trees, dude. Even if you don't get out to draw from with trees or like do some plein air drawing or whatever, just going out with your camera, like with your phone or whatever, and taking pictures of that stuff helps a lot. All right, let's see if this will pick up at all. Yeah, look at that. One of the things when people talk about watercolor being unforgiving, I feel like they don't know that you can actually scrub out a lot of the paint. Like, that's just about gone. Imagine the crazy story that corresponds with these panels. Yeah, it's gonna be a. Actually, it's not a Scott Pilgrim. It's like Scott Snot. No, he's Snot. Oh my God, how do you spell phlegm? Plegm. He's Snot Phlegm. Original creation. TM, 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 TM. So this is the story of Snot Phlegm meets death, gets saved by this guy, and then retires. in the in the woods. Snot pilgrim. Meet me in Temecula. So I think I actually like the cold press version of this paper better than the hot press, which is surprising to me. But neither of them are like, I don't think either of these are quite right for what I do. Oh my gosh. Mark, I'm so jealous. Hopefully you have a cool neighbor who drops by and is like, hey, thought you might like a cookie. Thank, thank you, Pibby. Don't forget to like the video. I'm working hard on getting over my hangups about like liking and subscribing. Oh, hey, Rudak. Happy Friday. Oh, hey, Michael. Hey, I hope you have a nice Christmas too. Yeah, he does look like he's laughing at his own terrible joke. He has that that face where his laugh looks like it would sound a lot like Nelson. Like a goblin version. All right. I think I'm just about going to call this done. And then we can test the tape pool. Thanks, Michael. But that's not Pilgrim. That's Snot Pilgrim. Yeah, Mark, he's legally distinct, original creation. You guys were all here when you saw me originate this character. All right, tape peel. Oh, oh my God, that's like the best tape peel I've ever had. Oh my gosh, it's so clean. It's so unfair. Like, I basically have already decided I don't think I'm going to use this paper. I think the thing that I'm going to start painting in the new year, I'm going to stick with Old Faithful. But man, this tape peel is really nice. So that's what we got. I wonder if they publish a black and white American comic with that, digest sized book. Yeah, Mark, I wish that they would take some risks and experiment with that. Like, I know, like they've done collections like that, like the Yosagi Yojimbo collection and uh, ElfQuest collections were done like that. Um, but those were like reprint collections. You know, it's just such a different market and such a different thing. But yeah, I wish yeah, it'd be great to do like a series that's just like 120 pages of black and white digest size, and each chapter is about that size. I think that'd be great. The paper, Rudek, is this stuff. Artistico Fabriano, the hot press. In a previous live stream, I used the cold press, which I liked a lot, but was a little bit too toothy for me, or too textured. And this stuff I actually like less, which really, really shocked me. Did not expect that at all. So I might try to do a scan to show the texture that comes through and post that up. Yeah, I mean, outside of like the tape. So I will say, like, this paper it's not very thick. Like, it's not as thick as the multimedia paper I use, but it is like, it feels a lot tougher. Like, it just feels like it can take a lot more abuse. Like on the mixed media, if I did something like this and really scrubbed it out too hard, it would start to, you know, like pull up the fibers of the paper. And here you can barely feel a difference between the area that I scrubbed and the area where I left. So yeah, it's a trip. It reminds me more of, I didn't realize this was an influence on me until someone pointed it out, and it was like, holy shit, that's like exactly what I'm trying to do. But it reminds me of Calvin and Hobbes. I think so much of the way I ink is chasing that a little bit. Is the other side different? It doesn't really look different. It looks basically the same to me. I mean, paper almost always has a side. Like, they're always a little bit different just because, you know, one side is down and one side is up when they make it. But this feels pretty much the same on both sides. Yeah, Mark, so much of my tree stuff is like totally Calvin and Hobbes swipes. Intentional or no. Okay, guys, I think that's going to do it for tonight. Like I said earlier, I'm not going to do a live stream next week. So I hope everybody has wonderful holidays. And yeah, I just hope it's super calm and relaxing and you get to do some fun stuff and hang out with the people that you love and yeah, and all that fun stuff. And have a good weekend and a good week. Yeah, and I hope everyone gets time off. Whew. I'm going to be working a little bit next week, but it's not going to be too bad. And yeah, that does it. So go out there and tell the people you love how much you love them. I love all you guys. And I'll see you next year. Peace.